everybody. Thanks for joining us again today. We have a great crowd, and I know there was a ton of people who registered for this part 2 of our LinkedIn webinar. I can't tell you, Randy, how many people reached out to us after the last one and let us know that they were watching it multiple times and sharing it with their whole team. So we had to come back. We had to do another one.
I had a ton as well. It was crazy. I had like 15 messages in my LinkedIn inbox. I was like, I can't even keep up to the people that were excited wanting some support.
That's awesome.
Before we get kicked off here with the topic, just want to introduce ourselves. We are HGA Fundraising, helping nonprofits raise more money with the most profitable auction items in fundraising. So I am Sandy Hilsenrath. I am on the advancement team here. Trevor, one of our co-founders, let us know, tell us a little bit about yourself, Trevor.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm 45 years old. I
like long walks.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Shameless plug though. Hey, we do a weekly webinar pretty much every Thursday throughout the year. In totality, probably like 45, 46. You know, we take a holiday off here and there. We'll be out of town next week at the Raise conference, and we can get into that. Randy will be there. Sandy will be there as well. That'll be really, really cool. And then we've had Randy and Mario both on the Hey Nonprofits podcast as well. Really, really cool deep dives about LinkedIn. We're going to get into the topic about LinkedIn right now. So that's going to be really, really cool.
I got to get me one of those shirts, Trevor.
I'm bringing
I don't
you
have one of those shirts either.
I'm bringing you one too.
There you go.
No, I know, it's kind of fun, huh? It's kind of fun. Yeah. So, hey, let's get it kicked off and go ahead, Sandy. Get us going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or no, wait. I'm supposed to get us going. Am I supposed to get us going? I think.
Yeah, go ahead. Give it. You know what? Let's tell an origin story about how we all met on LinkedIn.
I thought it was really, really cool. Yeah, we'll get Randy to explain what Impact Circle's doing very, very specifically. But I thought it'd be really cool to let everybody know. We think that LinkedIn is tailor-made for our space. I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth or anything like that, but that's how I look at it. And what's so cool is that Sandy's been with our team for almost a year now.
Almost. It's going
right?
on. Yeah.
Yeah. Almost a year. Guess where we met? LinkedIn. Randy and I are homies, and with Mario as partner as well. Guess where we met? LinkedIn. So it's really, really cool. And we're going to get into the work that Impact Circle does. I just thought that was a really cool thing.
Where did Randy and Mario meet and get started? LinkedIn.
Business partners.
Mario and I are meeting for the first time in person at the Raise conference. So I'll probably meet you, Trevor, before I meet my business partner.
Isn't that cool, though? It's so cool. Yeah, well, that'll be a nice segue. Talk about the origin with Impact Circle, why LinkedIn, why it's so impactful, pardon the pun, but it is. And then we'll get into the nitty gritty, man, with the episode.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Randy. I'm co-founder of the Impact Circle. Quick background, I built some for-profit companies, had a lot of success, found out that by doing impact and doing more good with them made me more excited to grow them. And then the more I started doing that, the more I started working with nonprofits and donating to them, realizing there wasn't a lot of people talking about like corporate partnerships in a way that they had experience from the corporate partners. And so Mario, my business partner, and I started stepping into the space a little bit. Mario had a good LinkedIn background. That's where I met him. And all of a sudden we were sitting there, we're like, why do we like LinkedIn so much? It's all business owners. It's all, influential humans. It's all executives. And I kind of started saying this now. It's like, no offense to my mom, but my mom isn't hanging out on LinkedIn. She's on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok.
Love you,
but
Mom.
She's not on LinkedIn. But my mom's not a professional. She's not the person that's going to be a corporate partner. She's not this. She's just like an everyday mom. She's a stay-at-home mom and just like her thing. And so when we started talking about that, we're like, why aren't more nonprofits on LinkedIn? So we started doing some research. There's 46% of all nonprofits in the world that are on LinkedIn. And of that, it was like 10% are actually like active. Yeah. And we're like, but when we looked at the stats, 98% are on Facebook, like 92% are on Instagram. So we're like, wait, you're telling me there's no other competition. It's only the people that you'd want to write checks to your organization in the corporate sponsor side. It's the only place where you can go and search and find people based on the industry they're in, based on how big their companies are, all these kinds of things. And we're like, why are no nonprofits doing this? And we Googled like nonprofits for LinkedIn. And there's a few shops out there that are kind of like mixing it into all their stuff. And Mario and I were like, well, we know how to do this. We know how to do corporate partnerships. We know how to build LinkedIn. Why not just triple down on this and start helping? And it feels like we're at the very bottom of a gigantic wave that our goal is just help as many nonprofits as we can get into this platform and start taking advantage of what's available for them.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Yeah, I love the background. Well, also, I'm very encouraged by those numbers as well. It seems like there's nowhere. I'm an optimist at heart, but there's nowhere to go but up. So it's like one cool thing. I want to get into the benefits of having a solid profile and stuff like that. We're kind of doing a little bit of a brief recap from part one, where we had Randy on with an amazing episode that Courtney linked the recording to. But it's very, very positive and glass half full. And what I mean by that is it's not too late. It's not too late to get going. It's not too late to start accessing these corporate relationships that are available out there. Another thing is, like, a big takeaway from our last episode: you don't need to post if you don't want to. You can be active on LinkedIn without post. So what I'm saying by that is, like, kind of taking the hooks out. Yeah, taking the hooks out where there's no pressure. So don't put that pressure on yourself, like you got to be the greatest content creator of all time. Randy, talk to folks about like what you have to be, because I'm thinking like personable, nice, clarity of message, stuff like that. Like what really stands out from like messaging and the profile perspective and what have you, if you're just getting going.
I was just chatting with one of my clients the other day, and I was like, think of LinkedIn as if you're going to like a chamber of commerce or a BNI meeting or something like that. Like if you walk in and you look good, you look professional, and you know how to have a conversation, you can start moving your way around the room. But if you walk in and you're wearing like sleazy clothes and you kind of don't know how to have conversation, like you're probably not going to fit into that kind of stuff, because there's kind of like a bit of a box that I'll say business professionals fit into. And so if we learn that and we go to our profiles, and our profiles look really crisp, really clean, good background photos, good distinction of like what we do, all of a sudden people that go to the page think, hey, you're professional and you're an authority in the space. So that gets their attention pretty quickly and really excited. And then when we approach them in a manner like you would at a business networking event. So Sandy, if I walked up to you at a networking event and said, hey, my name's Randy, I help nonprofits get, more followers on LinkedIn and blah, blah, blah. Would you guys be interested in learning about our services? That's our first interaction. You're gonna be like, whoa, no, see you later. We don't do that when we go to business networking events. We walk up like, Sandy, I love your glasses. Where'd you get them from? Oh my God, you look great today. What brought you to this event? Like there's so many other things to say. And so on LinkedIn, 90% of the people is just spamming saying, hey, do you want my services? So when we send messages, we're like, hey, Trevor, saw you lived in California, one of my favorite places to be. Oh, you're in, the Bay Area. Are you a 49ers fan? Would love to connect. Well, now I've just built that relationship where I took the time to learn about him. I sent him a message and he's like, wait, you're not asking for anything. You're not spamming me. You kind of separate yourself. And so then what Trevor does, the first thing he does is he clicks on my profile and he sees my tagline, he sees my professionalism, he knows what I do. And all of a sudden from there, I didn't have to tell him, here's who I am and here's what I do, because my profile did that. I had to go make friends with Trevor. And when it's that easy to go make friends, all you got to do is just hang out on LinkedIn and make some friends. And that's what guys like Trevor, Sandy, Mario, and myself, we all get along so great, is because we met on LinkedIn to make friends, not because we were trying to close deals.
Right. And so when we talk about that profile, and that's the first thing they're going to click on, right? Who is this person? Can you just recap a little bit from part one on, how they can optimize their profiles?
Yeah, of course.
Really,
and I only know this the best by sharing my screen. So you guys are in for a whirlwind.
Sure thing.
Here we
Come
go.
on now. This is where it gets good.
I'm just gonna bust it out. Cool. So this is allow. Here we go. There we go. So you guys can see my screen here.
Yep.
So this is one of my clients. This is Marquis. So what he's done a very good job here is when I go to his profile, I see something at the top here: coaching for change, his organization, unlocking economic opportunities, create lasting change for young people. I know what he does. I see a nice website here that I can go find out about him, helping college students mentor youth, build careers for real economics. And I'm like, this just looks like a professional page. Nice smiling photo here, right? So when I go to this page, this is the first thing. This is like your first impression. And this is why it's so important that we want to make sure that we have that availability. I want as many times as I can for people to see my website. Your website does a lot of your selling. So we want people to go there and make that happen. His about page is really good. Talks about it, shares a story. His about page isn't just like a bunch of random facts. It's actually a story. You want to read it, you follow through, and you understand about him so that when you get on a call with him, about what's going on.
Let
And
me
then
let
you
me
can,
let me,
yeah,
let
go
me
ahead.
interrupt. Sorry, Randy. Let me interrupt really quick. I
Yeah.
want folks. I want to. We rushed through this last time, not because of you. It wasn't.
Yeah.
No one's
We only
fault.
had an hour and
But
there was so
yeah,
much to
I
talk about.
want folks to ask questions right now and feel unabashed
Yeah.
about asking questions. Should I have my website here? How long should my about be? I just want to push everybody to ask questions while we have Randy, okay? Because he's a true expert at this and how important this calling card is. You're talking about the mechanics behind. I
Mhm.
know what Marquis does right away. Multiple ways to hit his website up as well. Get into the tagline piece, Randy, real
Yeah.
quick as well, about how important that is
Yeah.
to show folks, what you do and why you should think about that versus your label,
Yep.
or like your MBA or your
Yeah.
CFRE, for instance. No offense, by the way, those are all wonderful
Mhm.
designations, but why that doesn't necessarily matter, and why it might be more important to put like, I'm a husband, father of two, right? Like it says it
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
there on Marquise. Like, talk about that a little bit, Randy.
Few really important things here. So one, the first few characters here, I think it's like 75 characters or 50 characters, whatever it is. That is actually what shows up when you comment and message on people's stuff. I'll show you that in 1 second here.
Yes.
But the big thing is that I want the first thing they read, I want them to know is what I do. Helping college students mentor. So I'm excited now. I'm like, oh, I love what he's doing. Then I know that the founder at lets me know that he's, an authority. He's a public, not a public figure, but like a figure in the organization.
Mhm.
He's the decision maker, a guy I want to talk to. And then some random facts at the end. You can do whatever you want with this last half. I care most about this part right here, but this
Oh, that's
sells who
good.
you are as a person, right?
Cool.
This is what builds that relatability, that trust, and makes you a human to them.
Mhm.
Sometimes, like my profile is a little bit more specific directly to sales, and I'll show you mine in 1 second. But this makes him very humanized, especially in the nonprofit sector. That's one of the things we really want to do. We want to build that human connection. And so when we look at comments, of posts, see right here where it says helping college students mentor youth and build careers. When
Mhm.
Marquis goes and comments and talks to people, that's what we see. So in the comments here, I can see Mario. He's turning LinkedIn into a fundraising engine, versus Eric is just the executive director at EV Kids. I have no idea what EV Kids is, but I know that Mario
Mhm.
is turning LinkedIn into fundraising engine and
Yeah.
for nonprofits. So I'm like, oh,
That is so important for
I
folks
want
to
to see
realize that.
Mario
Yeah.
versus Eric. So that's why we don't put the first bit as just a executive director at this.
The
While
title.
you
Yep.
know exactly what that is, when we get into marketing, nobody has a clue what EV Kids is. I don't know if that's sports. I don't know if that's economics. I don't know what it is. So that's really big, as well as it also shows up on the side when you click on people and things like that. It's really
Mhm.
important to just be pretty dialed in there. And then you can even go to like, this is my profile here. Some of you might have checked it out. Again, everything we do is the exact same, like duplicate and repeat because it works. Helping nonprofits find corporate partners using LinkedIn. Here's our website. Nonprofits can find unlimited partners using LinkedIn. Let me show you how. Founder at Impact Circle, and then our hashtag Go Big to Give Big. Same thing, about and stuff. And again, the content, when you look at it, it says nonprofits can find unlimited partners. So it's very easy to think what we do.
I want to double click on that again, just for the audience and everyone that's going to be hearing this recording, this evergreen recording about this, because this is so good. It's not about being the executive director at EV Kids. It's not demeaning the
Mhm.
title, and you've earned that and all of these things. But just so you understand the tactics behind this, it's not about your title. It's about what you do.
Yeah.
You're not that is not, your title does not define what you do. It'd be more impactful, not picking on the guy, be more impactful if what work EV Kids does, right? Is what you're getting at. And it was a massive unlock to find this out.
Yeah.
And listen, hey, all these other designations, they're amazing. And you have to work so hard. I don't have an MBA. Cool. But it's made me rethink how people view us as well at our company. And this is so, so important, especially when you're going out to find corporate sponsors and folks that are going to be funding your mission. Show them and tell them what you do, not your label, not what
Mhm.
you've accomplished in college, for instance. I hope
And
that
that's
makes sense.
also what you can do in your about page. Like in your about, I would literally just ask, why did you get into the nonprofit sector and why are you
Good call.
passionate about solving this problem? And then just
Mhm.
write about it, right? It's like
Right.
I built 3 startups and when I did this, I realized this, and here's some things I recognize, and this is what it's like, and this is why I got into this sector. For a
Cool.
nonprofit, it's truly about that. Like, why did you want to start making impact? And then why did you choose this sector? Oh, there's usually a story that comes from it. I lost my grandpa to cancer, and that's what brought me into this sector and made me want to do this. And now my goal is to help X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Pretty simple to put that in there and make it easily happen.
And Randy, what do you think about the length of that section? These
Yeah.
look pretty lengthy, so they're chock full of information and storytelling. So talk a little bit about that.
I'm so bullish right now on this format of writing more than anything. One sentence, big gap, one sentence gap, some arrows to kind of break things up. I suffer from ADHD. Well, I don't suffer; it's a gift for me. But my brain can't see a large paragraph. When I see a huge paragraph here that this is all one, my instant thought is I don't have time to read that. But when I see one sentence, I'm like, I can read one sentence, and then I could read the next sentence, and then these bullet points get me excited, and then I can do this. So the importance for me is actually the formatting, and that follows into a lot of how I write my posts as well, going into just like a little different layer here. But you'll see all my posts are very similar, right? One sentence, maybe two, a little bit of emojis, some breakdowns. That's because that's what the human brain, with all the distractions that are happening today, they don't want to read huge paragraphs. So most of my stuff is a few sentences in here. Guys, I'm not a genius. I just study what the smartest people in the world are doing, then I just steal it and duplicate it. And so that's all I do. Is I just took a lot of other people's content, copy and pasted it, put it into ChatGPT, and said, how do I start writing copy like this that's relevant to me, which any nonprofit could do, and start writing and make it happen, no problem. And that's also on the one more side, is like the authority that we're trying to build with our clients. We are trying to help them build authority in this space so that they can, when I go to Marquis' page and I look at his posts, again, I understand what he's talking about. The break room where belonging changed everything, right? He talks a lot about what he's trying to solve as a problem. He's got statistics in here. He's got metrics in here. When I go to his page, I'm like, this guy's the authority. When I want to talk about, college students mentoring youth, he's the guy I'm going to want to talk to, because it works very well when I read his page. If all he did was reshare posts from other people, which is normally what I see, then you don't typically get to build the authority as if you write it yourself. So also on top of this, writing the post gives you that authority inside the industry.
Cool. Good. We had a couple questions come in real quick. Sarah, it's more of an experience. I check email than LinkedIn every day. Sarah, I'm the same. My community is developing so fast. Good for you, Sarah. That's fantastic. Appreciate that. And we've seen you on there. So hats off to you. Valerie, I hesitate to accept some requests for that fear of immediately being sold to. When you get requests, actually, Randy, when you send someone a request, well, I'm going to hold this. This is going to be it's going to be a placeholder for why this matters so much. So great question, Valerie. I get you. I don't get a lot of like crazy salesy stuff myself. I don't know if that's your experience, Randy, or your experience, Sandy, or anyone else watching. I'm not getting tons of that. Maybe a handful a week with a ton of connections, and we're growing. I'm getting like 50 to 100 followers a week, and not getting a lot of weird salesy in-mail stuff. We can talk about why that's bad. Ken, you absolutely do need to load your website. Randy, you agree with that?
100%. Your
Is
website
that a
should go
feature?
everywhere.
So going into the next question, is that a feature, adding your website in? Do you have to have premium in order to do that?
Some sections, there's like so many different sections, and I don't want to go through like section by section and what it is, but there's certain things that premium gets you, where you can share your websites or not. But in most cases, you can have some portion somewhere where they can click directly on your website. And the reason why that's important, so I just unshared my screen. It's sometimes nice for people to kind of like unshare and share so they can kind of stay engaged.
We're going to get back in there. We're going to get back in there. I know that.
So when I go to my page, whether it's a button here, a featured section here, a button here, the biggest thing is that if I don't have that, if there's nowhere for somebody to go to my website and learn about me, I lose a lot of real estate of doing that. So when I go to Trevor's page and I see what he's up to, I can click right here. That's one of the first things I did is I click this, boom. Now I know what HGA fundraising is. right?
Mhm.
It's done, it's set up, I'm already here, I'm ready to go. That's what we want for all of our nonprofits. That, like I said, when I was showing you Marquis, it's like, if you guys don't know who Marquis is and what he's doing some insanely incredible stuff for helping college students mentor youth. He's just gotten like a few $1 million in subsidies and grants. It's
Wow.
incredible.
Mhm.
Wow.
All I have to do is
That's
click his
awesome.
website and I know about what he's doing. If
Awesome.
that's not accessible either here or here in your taglines, like, that's such valuable real estate. The featured section is another spot you can see here.
That's
Like,
an easy one. Features easy.
if you
Yeah.
go through his page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places for you to click his website.
Yeah.
That's what it's important to me.
Good
Um,
stuff.
and so also in the premium package, oh my gosh, this thought just flew right out of my head. Oh, we were talking about sending, personal messages to people in order
Yes.
to connect, not just, sending the request and not putting a note in, right? We'll get into that a little bit
Yep.
more. But I know that the free version has a certain amount that you're allowed to send every month.
Yeah.
So then with premium, you have unlimited
Yeah.
opportunities to send people messages.
So there was a question I saw in there of like, is premium worth getting? To me, premium is not worth getting. Sales Navigator is worth getting because you get all the perks of premium and you get a search on Sales Navigator. And I don't want to go too deep into it, but Sales Navigator gives you the ability to search a lot deeper. We talked a little bit about searching last time, but I can go into here and go into searches. Like, I can search by so many different things in here. I can search by company titles, how big their company is, the company types, head counts, all that kind of stuff. I can search by geography, industries, all this, and it's all shows up super easy right here. I can see who's posted on LinkedIn recently, which is a big one because then I get to see who's active and who's
Yeah.
not. And I can build a lot of stuff. So this is Sales Navigator. It's $30 a month for nonprofits if you use the discount. I'll go and find that and put it into the chat here in a minute while you guys are talking.
Cool.
But that's Sales Navigator gives you all the perks of premium. You get to send 200 requests a week up to, so you can send a lot of messages. If you don't have that, you're restricted to certain stuff. But yes, that is a really big component of wanting to scale this. And for $30 a month, I have to pay 110 or something like that as a business. So definitely worth it to be a nonprofit and grab that.
Debbie had a good question about nonprofit staff members. Randy, will you address that, brother?
Let me just stop that.
Pardon me. Yeah. About
Can
staff
nonprofit
members
members get nonprofit rates on their own LinkedIn profile? So when you talk to LinkedIn, you can ask them about how many members of your team want to get underneath it. I don't know exactly what it is on how many people get the nonprofit discount and stuff. That's a LinkedIn question.
Cool.
But you'll just want to talk to somebody to figure out how many people can actually get inside the nonprofit discount on that thing. And I think it's absolutely amazing. And I think it's brilliant. And Trevor, one of the things I just wanted to say is that we should briefly touch on some of the giveaways we're going to do on the back end of this webinar so nobody leaves.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
forgot to mention
I
that.
know that was a big part of what we wanted to do, and
That's
I
my
would
job.
hate for
I
someone
failed.
to leave and miss the opportunity only because I've seen all these questions. I'm like, these are amazing humans. I just want to help. So I just saw that and I was like, oh my God, we should quickly mention that so that nobody leaves.
Take it away, Sandy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do a giveaway at the end of every webinar. So stay tuned. I'm so sorry I didn't mention this earlier, but yeah, stay tuned. Trevor, and remind me, I know we're doing a big one next week. Are we doing something similar today? What are we giving away today?
Yeah,
we are.
Yeah, we're giving away a couple boot camps, a couple of Randy's boot camps. I'll have Randy speak about what he's giving away, and then we're giving away a golden ticket as well. We're going to talk about the golden ticket and how that aligns with corporate sponsors on this episode as well. But yeah, we're giving away quite a bit, like over $7,500 in value, I believe, of items. So yeah. Oh, and thanks for grabbing that, Randy. Appreciate it. Randy, talk about what we're giving away from Impact Circle at the end of the episode.
So I'm going to give away live on this call. So it stays on to the end, a full LinkedIn consulting package. So you'll get it's 30-day sprint essentially, and we go through. We help you essentially build your entire profile out. We help you learn about the messaging. We help you find your audience. We help you put that whole package together, one-on-one support directly from us. So that's That's one of the packages that we're going to give away. And then I'll give away a few boot camp opportunities, which is the same thing, but you just end up being in a cohort. That's going to run in the first week of October. And so we'll give away a few of those as well for people. And it's just my way of thanking you guys at HGA for being some of our biggest supporters and having probably some of the best audience of people that are engaging and sending questions and being there. So for those of you that are watching and commenting and getting involved, you guys are the reason why I'm back again. And that's why we're bringing back a little bit extra support for you guys, specific for HGA. There is no, I don't give stuff away anywhere else. It's just with you guys. So
we love to give stuff away. So.
Thanks so much, brother. Appreciate you. I want to get into this question that we got. Well, it was a response from Valerie, and I thought it would segue quite nicely into how to send connection requests that get opens and turn into meaningful conversations. So I want Randy to answer that or explain that. And the reason why I brought up Valerie's observation is, Valerie, because those folks are doing it the wrong way. And Randy's going to explain how to do it the right way, how to send requests that get real opens, real engagement, and turn into conversations.
This is it. This is the magic of everything. If you guys just come and watch this one thing, like the trainings that we do are to help speed up the process. The boot camps that we do are to help speed up the process. Anybody can do this. There's a million free videos out there in the universe. But the thing that's differentiating us right now is that we have found a way that's a soft approach to selling. And the world is changing. If you pick up the phone and you cold call, if you're a nonprofit right now and you're cold calling, your answer rates are probably like zero. I can't remember the last time I answered a number that I don't know on my phone, let alone called somebody back that I was excited to get a cold call from, or answered it and been like, oh yeah, I'm really excited to learn about what you have. It's like, dude, I'm so busy right now, not interested. So cool. Cold calling doesn't work. Cold emailing is getting extremely hard right now. And again, it's because it's very hard to build a connection. I have to send Trevor an email without knowing anything about Trevor and convince him that he should click on something that I have or respond back or get involved. Very hard. So LinkedIn, we can change that. We can approach someone and become friends with them. And I'll preface this as well. On Instagram, really hard. I can follow somebody, but I can't really send them a message to build a friendship, right? People aren't on Instagram looking for friends. Right. They are on LinkedIn. That's primarily what LinkedIn is for. It's a online business networking platform. So we talked a little bit about this last day of being able to search some stuff and being able to look up some words. So I don't know if I have a search in here. So one of my clients does cancer support. So we looked up, I'll even make it one better, cancer survivor. So she now searched cancer survivor. If you go into here and click on people, you all of a sudden you can see anyone in the world that has cancer survivor as part of their tags. Well, then cool, let's just search in the United States. Amazing. Here's all the people in the United States that have cancer survivor inside their tags. That's great. Well, now if your organization helps cancer survivors, don't you think these would be really incredible people to connect with? Starting to understand that. And then we can go even further into the searches. We can search for different, industries they're in. We can search for different kinds of stuff. We can search for maybe the CEOs of companies, because those are the best people for us to get involved with. And boom, there we go. There's the CEO entrepreneurs of all these people that are in cancer surviving type stuff. And obviously there's a few different searches here. I try and make it a little bit better, but this is just to show you that I can go and find anybody that I want to, that is like the chief executive officer at leader something in here. He's done a TEDx talk. He's done this, but he's a cancer survivor. So now if we were to reach out to him, I could look at his profile and say, hey, I'm going to learn a little bit about Patrick here. Cool. He's a seasoned public charity, so he's a nonprofit. He has over 20 years experience in fundraising. So this might not be the perfect example because he's in fundraising, but I can learn a little bit about him, right? And then I can go into here and I can hit connect. So either connect will show up here or here. And I hit connect, add a note, and I send a message that says, hey, Trevor. Oops, not Trevor.
It's all good then.
Hey, Patrick. And don't worry, I've done that 100 times and sent the message. And I'm like, oh, man. And then I realized there's 6 billion people on this planet and one mess up isn't going to change my life. Hey, Patrick. Hey, Patrick. I saw you were in the nonprofit sector. and had a really cool TED talk, right?
Yep.
I would love to connect and hear more about your talk and how you are making massive impact in this world. P.S. Saw you. This makes sense in a second, guys. Saw you were in Miami. What a gorgeous city. Was there last year. So this is just an example, guys. Like I just wrote this on the spot. There's no rhyme or reason to this. But hey, I saw you in the nonprofit sector and had a really cool TEDx talk. All I'm trying to do is just take information about his page and bring it into a message. Nowhere in here do I say, my name's Randy, I run the Impact Circle, and I help X, Y, and Z. I'm making it all about him. So when he opens this message, he goes, oh, he knows that I'm in the nonprofit sector. He wants to connect to hear more about what I'm doing. And he also made it relatable because he knows that I live in Miami. Like if somebody says, hey, Trevor, pardon me. Hey, Trevor, I saw you lived in California or San Francisco. You instantly know that person did a little bit of research, right? That's why it's important. And then I just make it relatable. What a gorgeous city was there last year. And then I just hit send.
It's awesome.
Now I've built that connection. And so I'll just show you guys some of the stuff. So see in here, these are all the people that are on your call that just sent me some today. But see how no messages are showing up here. This is what your typical connection looks like when you send it. I've accepted so many now. So then when somebody sends a connection request, so that connection request shows up right here. Right? Would love to connect and learn about corporate partnerships. Like this is probably a good person I probably should have messaged a week ago. But you guys can see how that's how differentiator I am already. Just by putting a note in there. That's it.
Yep.
Now they can read a little bit about it and I can be like, this is kind of cool. Right. And then I'll see if there's.
I'm trying to think back to Randy on my phone when I've received requests on my phone and they pop up, right? A little preview of the message.
Yep. So that's really important. So that's how you distinguish yourself. And then I go into here send. So like this is where you can see that I've hey Adrian, saw you commented on my post. I can make this bigger for you guys. Hey,
thank you.
Saw you comment on my post and wanted to reach out. I love connecting with people in the industry and especially ones that engage my content, even if it is challenging my post. Like this guy came and was like, you're completely wrong. I love learning. What did you find is working well for you in the fundraising space right now? Like obviously
that's how you handle haters.
He didn't accept it. But these are like, this is the game. And guys, this isn't a magic trick. Like anybody that's cold called or fundraised or done anything, you know, it's a numbers game. How many messages do I have to send to get people to respond back to me? We typically see about 200 messages leads to about 20 connection calls. That's kind of what we've seen in our space.
So 10%.
So it's like, hey, thank you for our most recent, they grabbed a resource from us. So again, you can see I do a lot of stuff in that space. But it's like, hey, saw you were mutual friends with Jared. I was supposed to say Ransom, not Random. She's amazing. Some of you might know her. She's big in the nonprofit sector. I also saw you were into sports and philanthropy. They're two of my favorite things. Thought I'd throw over a connection request and learn more. Not often meet people with both those in their with both those loves. Like I'm just making friends with these people.
Yep.
Once I get accepted message from him, then I ask him, tell me more about yourself. He shares a little bit and then I say, dude, Chris, I'd love to chat with you, man. Why don't we hop on a connection call? Still nowhere in any of this have I said, I run a nonprofit. Here's what I do. Here's what I do. Because you know why? When Chris clicked on my page, he probably went, oh, I know Randy. I know what he does. I know he's in a space. So my profile does my talking for me. Okay.
Now,
I'll let you guys ask some questions.
Yeah. And so talking about, people are going to immediately go to your profile. We talked about the importance of the message part, but, and to, I don't want to say deprioritize, but a little bit less on the posts, right? And you said you don't have to be posting content and such. But I feel like when you go to someone's profile and you start looking to see, what they're about, like Trevor, there's so much content on there. And I'm like, oh, wow, he is really active. He's, this is what he's all about. And so that gives me more information about Trevor and who he is to see what type of things he posts. So
totally. I just want to share Bradley here for a second. This is one of our clients, came through our boot camp, set everything up, did it all perfect, and has one post from 3 months ago. He
Mm-hmm.
just closed $1 billion endowment to sponsor him through LinkedIn.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
Very
no
good.
post, no nothing. He just set his profile up. The people went to it. They knew exactly what he did. They were like, "This is incredible." No, no post, no nothing. And he literally closed. I don't know how much he got fundraised for it, but he found $1 billion endowment in his local area. Went to
Wow.
LinkedIn, found all the directors of the endowment, started making friends with all of them, and they eventually were just like, "Yeah, dude, how do we support?" Because he
So
had a
cool.
really professional profile, right?
Right.
So cool.
He
Yeah.
looks. The only thing I would encourage is that if you don't post, you do look inactive, right? It looks like you haven't been active in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of this, like you go to his page, you're like, this looks like a professional page.
Clean.
Again,
Yep.
you'll see website. He's got some features here, but he didn't quite set his profile up. But he's also one of those guys that was like, dude, I got what I needed. This is like,
Mm-hmm.
I mission accomplished.
It's really cool how these well, hats off to Bradley. That's fantastic news. It's really cool how a lot of these comments and questions are lining up with the questions that we had for you. Valerie mentioned, ironically, when I work with a cancer support group, I connect with a survivor who messaged me because of my tagline. He ended up joining our committee, and his business sponsored our event. And what was interesting is the next question that we had. So fantastic. That's beautiful, Valerie. Um, how to communicate with your current sponsors on LinkedIn to stay top of mind. So that person's in, they
Mm-hmm.
sponsor the event, they're in the fold. I jumped over a few steps. How to communicate with those folks properly on LinkedIn to make sure that you stay top of mind.
Yeah.
Talk about that, Randy.
There's a few things. Obviously, LinkedIn, like just when you post, so when you go and find your sponsor and you get them on LinkedIn, they're going to see you posting. Think
Mm-hmm.
of this, like as a donor to a bazillion nonprofits, because I sponsor so many different people, I don't honestly see a lot of their impact. I just don't. I get a newsletter once every 6 months, maybe every month if they're good, that are usually 16 miles long. Don't get me started on newsletters. It's a whole different thing of like, scrap your whole idea of newsletters, write plain text, share the stories, and send them
Mm-hmm.
every 2 weeks. You'll get way better response from people than you will sending a huge newsletter once a month. And if you don't do
Mm-hmm.
that, you're just missing opportunity. But when I donate, I want to see the impact. So when I see nonprofits talking about the impact that's happening on their LinkedIn, I get excited. And then I'm starting to be like there. And then all of a sudden, when Sandy reaches out to me, be like, "Hey, Randy, we've got this cool opportunity coming up. Would you like to sponsor a golden ticket?" I already know I'm up to speed with what you're doing because I've
Mm-hmm.
followed your social on LinkedIn. And the other thing you can do, why not tag them in a few posts, right?
Right.
When you
Mm-hmm.
do some of this impact,
Gratitude.
say, "Hey, thank you to our one of our previous sponsors, this person." I don't all I'm trying to do is just keep them engaged, let them know I'm thinking about them. So it's a really good opportunity for you to build that relationship deeper. And again, this is like the crazy thing to me. I've donated quite a bit of money to quite a few nonprofits. I've never once had a nonprofit do that. I've worked with a lot of businesses that have donated. We've probably donated like a few $1 million collectively over, the companies that I've worked with and over the past few years. Not a single company has come back to me and been like, "Wow, that nonprofit," outside of tagging me on an Instagram post, that's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
nobody has said, "Hey, I just posted about you on LinkedIn." And then nobody's gone on and mentioned it because there's no nonprofits on LinkedIn. And
Right.
consistently just tag them in the comments. "Hey, also, Johnny, you might love this piece of content," right? Well, now
Mm-hmm.
they're going to engage, they're going to get excited. Like, to me, there's a whole different world out there when it comes to corporate sponsors that nonprofits are missing. As
Mm-hmm.
a business, the number one challenge that I did as the liaison, for you guys that don't know, I liaisoned basically between for-profit and nonprofit to help manage that relationship. Almost 100% of the businesses said, "We feel like an ATM to the nonprofit sector." The only
Wow.
reason they reach out is because they want money. Well, what
Right.
if you started building these relationships? You had some fun things
Mm-hmm.
going on. You're tagging them on LinkedIn. You're sending them an email every 2 weeks. It sounds crazy to you guys. I send 3 emails a week to my audience,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because my emails are small, they're
Yeah.
short, and they're just plain text. There's nothing fancy. There's nothing crazy, and I have like a 53% open rate over 20,000 emails that I sent over the past
Wow.
90 days. Insane.
That's
Nobody's getting those
amazing.
metrics in the industry. It's
Right.
because we're consistently just dripping a little bit of information
Yeah.
that they don't feel like it's overwhelming to them.
Yeah.
I'm not selling in them, right? They're not sales. They're just like, hey, if you want to hear about a cool story, this is it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
totally.
that's
Stand
how
in
we
front of
think we
people.
should start managing our corporate partners a little bit differently. Anyone, and I say corporate partners, guys, to me, that's anyone that has influence, status, business, or makes, a few $1,000 donation, right?
Yeah.
Somebody that's just a little bit more engaged than an average donor out there.
Yeah.
And last thing I'll say is when we start looking at corporate partners, and we see this all the time through our consulting, people come in and are like, we want to get introduced to the Google executives that are going to donate $100,000 to us. That's cool, but do you know how long it takes to build a relationship with someone like that to
Right.
get in, and how many businesses you're competing against, nonprofits you're competing against to get their attention? Whereas someone like Mario and I, or HGA as an example, are just businesses cruising in the mid-tier business world, and all of a sudden when we get reach outs on LinkedIn, you're talking to the CEO. You're
Right.
talking to the guy that can make a decision. If somebody popped into your inbox, Trevor, and was like, Trevor, I know you love cycling. We're going to provide some bikes to some kids. We're looking for a sponsorship to come in and help us with this. Look, we're only looking for a few grand. Is this something you can make happen? Trevor's the guy's like, oh man, that's like, you did your homework. You knew I was the guy, and
I've
it's
done
only a
it.
few grand.
Absolutely.
Why
I've
not?
done it.
I just
Yeah.
I just donated $1,000 the other day. I'm raising for our Mexico trip. I've called like 5 of my friends. I'm like, it's just $1,000. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Imagine you call your donor list in that manner, just like, it's just $1,000. Most donors aren't going to say yes. Most business owners is kind of like, yeah, sure, here's $100 kind of thing. So it just changes our audience. So
That
I don't
relationship.
go for the
Yeah.
elites. I love this mid-tier range businesses, kind of in the 750 to 10 million range. That's the sweet spot. I'd rather have 50 of those than one big player, because now, when we can go into the golden ticket conversation here if you want, but now when I have a sponsorship opportunity for 5 grand, 8 grand, 10 grand, I have 50 people to choose from that are all warm, versus trying to go to some of these larger places where I have 2 or 3. Sure, they're writing you $100,000 check, but you're kind of capped. You're stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call.
Before we open it up for questions, let's talk about the golden ticket and a little bit of a case study here that we have.
Yeah,
Trevor,
like utilizing utilizing corporate sponsors to underwrite things like a golden ticket opportunity, using corporate sponsors that you find on LinkedIn to underwrite your software for your upcoming golf tournament or banquet or gala event, stuff like that, Randy. But we'll use the golden ticket as something that has it's got a cost of $2,500.
Yep.
We frame it as sell 100 tickets for $100. We're going to give one away at the end of the episode, and you raise $10,000 with it. You would, if you pay the $2,500 out of pocket, you're netting $7,500 net. However, when you have these corporate sponsors that you've developed and you've collaborated with folks and kept them up to speed and nurtured the relationship and started the relationship on a good foot through LinkedIn, then you can start asking corporate sponsors, when you have opportunities like a golden ticket that you can raise $10,000 with at your next event, to underwrite it. So talk us through that, just an illustration, for instance, Randy, on how you go about doing that.
Yeah. So first off, if you already have corporate sponsors in your database and you haven't reached out to them in the past 6 months, and you're planning an event coming up, or you're going to get a golden ticket, don't reach out and say, hey, I've got a golden ticket, I'm looking for a sponsor. That is the ATM feeling that all businesses have. Like, I can't preach that enough. Send
That's why
an email.
we say seven times.
Yeah.
7 touch points before you ask them for another donation.
Start today by trying to build those relationships, knowing you have something coming up, so that you can ask them when something's coming, right? Most of my network, it was easy to call and ask for $1,000 donation for our Mexico trip, because I talk to them all the time. They see my emails, they're involved, they know what we're doing. It's no surprise when I call them and ask them for something, because they're like, oh yeah, I knew you were doing that Mexico trip. I was waiting for this call.
Yeah.
It's like, it's there. So,
Right.
so that's first off. If they start building that now for the people. So when we look at LinkedIn and we know that we're going to be doing these kind of corporate sponsorships, start building that relationship today as if they're going to be your partner in 6 months from now. So I might not even offer them to sponsor this golden ticket that I'm going to buy for this event that I have going on, but I might say something like, in my conversations when I'm talking with them, this isn't in the cold messages, this is once I start building a relationship with them, is like, we have these really cool opportunities where we actually go and buy a golden ticket and we get somebody to come and sponsor it. It's a $5,000 sponsor, and we're going to promote you on our social. We're going to make you the title sponsor of something, and that we're going to use that money to buy the golden ticket, right?
And
Now
raise
I've just made
$10,000.
$2,500 plus they paid for the golden ticket, and I'm going to sell that golden ticket for 10 grand. Now I've
Yes.
just made $12,500 off of a $2,000 purchase, which didn't cost me anything. So now I have zero overhead into it, and I just made $12,500. That is the easiest way for nonprofits to start ultimately maximizing it. And as a business owner, when I go and sponsor an event, if I look at silent auction items, that's what a lot of people do, in some capacities. Like what is the caliber of this event is what often gets asked. Who are you attracting? What are the sponsors? What are the prizes? Things like that. If you go and say to these sponsors, oh yeah, our golden ticket, we're going to give away just a trip to, wherever it is, Sedona or whatever you guys have as your golden tickets. It's a 4-day trip. It's this, it's a big thing. All of a sudden as a sponsor, I'm like, how did you get that? Like, where are you getting this from? And isn't that like a $5,000 trip? How are you going to make money from it? And you're like, I got a connection. All of a sudden now, as a sponsor, you've made me excited, right? I'm like, I'm starting to think like, you must be inviting some pretty cool people to this event. If you're giving that kind of thing away, the other sponsors must be pretty excited. So now we're leveraging the golden ticket in the conversation to get them excited. But back to what I was saying is like, I might not actually tell them that they can sponsor it. I might say, oh yeah, and oftentimes these are the kinds of things that we do with our sponsors is we get them to sponsor a ticket like this. So it's a win-win for everybody. Now I know going forward that you might be asking me for that, right?
Yep.
Instead of the direct ask as soon as I become friends with you, I'm letting you know about people that we have. Well, as a donor, I'm like, well, can I get in on this one? Right? That's the kind of marketing that we try and teach our nonprofit, is to get away from this panic selling of, hey, we need to sell this golden ticket today, to start warming up the corporate partners, bring people in, and then tell them the kind of stuff that you do with your corporate partners that has a benefit to them and get them involved. And they can run a golden ticket anytime. Doesn't even have to be at an event. You can just be like, you know what? We want to do a giveaway. We're doing this thing and we're going to sell tickets to it. And the best thing, if you get a sponsor and you don't sell out 100 tickets at $100, you have zero overhead. If you only make $5,000, oh, you made $5,000. Like, anyway, that's my soapbox.
No, I love it.
Well, I want to give one away now. I'm very excited to give a golden ticket away.
No, we're going to. Hey, we got a call for questions, comments. We got Randy for give or take another 10 minutes. Amazing. Once again, another installment of something you guys can start doing right away.
And I'll start us off by just saying, like, if you guys send me a message on LinkedIn and it's a genuine connection request, you're asking me something and you're hungry for some information, I'll just send you a voice memo back of how you could, make your profile look cool. Like, I love this kind of stuff. I'm so helpful. I'm happy to give anyone information, and I'm going to give a bunch more stuff away on top of a bunch of this. So I'll give everyone here a discount to our boot camps if they want to come, if they don't win the prize. Like, again, the audience you guys have is better than any other audience I've gone to. And that's why I want to support and help wherever I can. So send me a message. I'll hook you up with a coupon code to get a discount to our boot camp. And if people are interested, I can even just put this here.
And
cool,
so Courtney, if you would flash up the number for them to text. So text HGA to 73747 and we'll get you in. We're going to call the winner live. So you're going to get a golden ticket and a one-on-one coaching call with Randy and Mario. So
so one person gets the whole thing? Holy smokes. Okay, cool. Wow. The golden ticket and the consulting? Okay, cool. Oh, I got you. I was like, oh my goodness. Sarah, it's text HGA to 73747. And then Randy put up the boot camp discount code to sign up and all that good stuff.
If you head in there, I'll and you just tell me that you want in, we'll give you $250 off. So it takes a third of the price down. So it's a 30% discount for anyone here. Cool. Regardless, I would wait to see if you win before, because let's give away a few boot camp, right? And I don't care how you guys give it away. I'll give. We'll include the consulting either with that or separately, but we can tag team it if you want. However
I was thinking we'll do the consulting and the golden ticket just to one person. What do you think of that? Does that sound good?
I love it.
And then we'll give away, and then we can randomly choose some boot camp winners and put that out with the recording tomorrow, for instance, from folks that were just here, if you like. What do you guys think's best? We have we have the data of everyone that stayed to the end. So appreciate you. Oh, Anita, thank you so much for the kind words. That's awesome.
Let's do this, Trevor. Let's give one boot camp away live, so we're not just calling a bunch of people.
Cool.
And then let's give one away in email. So we'll pick one random winner, because then anyone that, maybe somebody registered but wasn't able to make it or something like that.
Cool.
Okay.
We can,
kind
of
because then they get the recording after that. Yep.
All right. Fun. Yep.
So
good. So good. All right. So we're going to do, I'm waiting. Courtney is doing a randomizer of all the folks that were here to the very end. So we're going to give away a boot camp, and then we'll give away a grand prize. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start with the boot camp.
Okay, cool. Hang tight, everybody. And then, hey, once again, we got Randy. We got him. We got him nailed down for an hour. So if you have any more questions,
we do. We have one from Kim. She wants to know if she should be spending more time on her personal profile or the nonprofit's profile.
The entire thing of what I talked about today is specifically for your personal profile. The reason why we don't do business profile is because it's hard to build connections, right? It's hard to be a personalized person. It doesn't have the same parameters. You can't just go send connection requests and things like that. They have to follow your business, things like that. So 100% of what we do is a personal profile. And so what that also means, though, is that if you have an organization with 2 or 3 people, 4 people in it, they can all build their profiles. If you go to Trevor's team, every one of them has a perfect, crisp banner. They all have really good headlines. Like, it's like you know they're a part of the team. Just get your team to do it. You can also get your board to drop in a little bit of it and do some work. That's a whole nother. I got so many trainings that we do on like how to get your board engaged with corporate partners. Stop asking your board to fundraise for you and start asking them to make introductions to corporate partners. They don't have to do any work. Just, hey, Trevor, I know you support our organization. Is there somebody in your network that you think would be a good intro as a corporate sponsor? And if they can't make those intros, I would start asking why they're on the board for you of what do they bring as value. Now, if they provide value to you, great. But 90% of the boards I sit on, they're on there to kind of fundraise and bring value, but none of them do anything. We'll get them to start making introductions for you. And if they don't, okay, I'm bullish on this one. I think people are way too soft with their boards. I sit on the board. If we don't do our calls, I get angry. If we're not fundraising, I'm angry. If I'm not making intros to them, I'm like, everyone on the board should, like, our job is to help grow this organization, not sit here and use it as a feel good piece. So anyways, that's my soapbox on that one.
Okay, I got 2. Okay, so I'm doing a thank you very much, by the way, y'all. Thank you for the questions. And yeah, that was a great question, Kim. Let's get to Renee's. We still got 5 minutes. Renee's question, do you have any advice for a consultant who is working with multiple nonprofits and reaching out on their behalf?
Oh, God. So, like, do you have any advice for a consultant who is working with multiple nonprofits and reaching on their behalf? That's hard. It's like an agency type thing. It's really hard to do multiple nonprofit outreaches from that. So my advice for you as a consultant working on their behalf is either build an agency and go into their LinkedIn personally and start messaging on their behalf inside their LinkedIn, which is our next step. We're building an agency right now where it's like, if you're a nonprofit, you can just hire us and we'll go build all of this inside your LinkedIn, send all the messages, deal the DMs, and you just have the calls. That's one way. The second way is to train your nonprofits how to do this. And I can teach you how to teach nonprofits how to do this. I'm so big on this. Like, I want every nonprofit consultant to come through our boot camp so then they can go train it, because I just believe in the nonprofit sector taking over LinkedIn. And that's what I care about more than anything else. So I'm happy to discuss that as well. If anyone that is a consultant, I'll just teach you how to do nonprofits and make that happen. So
Christopher, great. That's a whole TED talk about board involvement. Yeah. No more sitting ducks, give policy and intros to the development team. And point taken, Chris. And I love that Randy's speaking about this and so bullish about it, like you said, because he's sat on boards and he's coaching folks that have boards and what have you. But what's really, really, I think a great takeaway, I'm being a little more milder actually, but I'm very, very bullish on it too about pushing folks. We have to give them the tools to do what we want them to do. And far more often than not, it's just like, hey, yes, I need your connections on LinkedIn. This is how I want you to do it. And all the way down to, it's like, this is the connection request. This is the statement I want you to make. Not saying that you're not doing that already, Christopher, but you get my point. It's like, definitely tell folks precisely what you want them to do. And then if they ignore you, then we got a different ball game, right? But giving them this ammunition is like, hey, this is how we're going to go about this. It's the campaign we're doing on LinkedIn. It's about, the executive director, the development director, getting out there and meeting corporate sponsors, I need you to introduce those folks to me because this is the reason why, boom, doing, that kind of stuff. So give folks the data they need to make that successful for you. I'm going to call someone. All right. Here I go. All right. Okay. We're giving away a boot camp and then we'll give away the grand prize. Make sure your phone's on. All right. Oh, I recognize this area code. I recognize it.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Who am I speaking with? Good afternoon to you.
Hi, this is Anita Bishop.
Hey, Anita. How are you? Thanks so much for coming to the webinar. I hope you got something out of it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yes, thank you.
All right. Great. And you're in the Oklahoma City area then too.
Yes, we are.
Our corporate office is in Edmond, so you should stop by and say hi.
Well, you know what? You invite us, we will.
Okay, 100%. Well, Anita, you won the boot camp, and then we'll send you over the data on how to sign up for that, and feel free to reach out to Randy on LinkedIn. But yeah, as you can tell, you're going to get a ton out of this, so it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. We are so hungry for some good information. So thank you guys
for
providing all of this for us.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you so much for coming, Anita. I really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you, and congratulations. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye now.
All right, bye.
Oh, that was cool. Anita's so grateful. Thank you, guys.
Great. And this is the boot camp, guys, for those of you that just won or are going to win. It starts October 7th. They're 90-minute calls. It's a bang in. It's 2 weeks of just getting content. I've learned that you can learn how to do all of this LinkedIn stuff in 2 weeks. We teach everyone in 4 sessions over 2 weeks, and then we support them for 2 weeks after how to get the calls. And for anyone that wants to register, if you use the HGA code I put in the thing, it'll take $250 off. So it's $500 for you. Like for $500, you can learn everything you want.
Awesome.
But
awesome.
But one testimonial, I just had somebody come through a boot camp. She booked 23 connection calls in 4 weeks.
Wow.
And in her first 5 calls, she got a $7,500 in-kind sponsorship from somebody she was trying to partner with in some industry that's going to change everything. So it's like,
wow,
that's not bad. So it's like,
it's
not
time.
like we sell this. We sell results because we're seeing a lot of them. Most of our people come through, book at minimum 4 to 5 connection calls. That's how easy it is. That's what I'm trying to say is like, this isn't rocket science. I teach it in 2 weeks. And then in 2 weeks, people go and book 5 to 10 connection calls, and then you just repeat it over and over and over again.
I love it.
All right,
Trevor,
hey, we
got the grand prize. The grand prize. Here we go. Okay, so a golden ticket and a consulting package with Randy with Impact Circle. Here we go. This is a big one. I hope they answer.
$7,000 package.
Holy smokes! Hope your phone's on. Whoever it might be.
Imagine they didn't answer.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. Who am I speaking with?
This is Nicole.
Hey, Nicole, this is Trevor Nelson with HGA.
Hi.
Hey, you won the big grand prize with the golden ticket and the consulting package.
Oh, that's amazing. This is very interesting watching.
Oh, good. Okay. I hope it was fun. I hope it was impactful. Yeah.
Yeah, great session. Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations. Our team is going to be reaching out to you, of course, with all the data and introing you to Randy so you can get signed up for your consulting. And thanks so much for taking the time and coming today. I appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you all so much. And thank you so much for this great session today.
All right. Well, we'll see you in a couple of weeks at the next one then. Okay. This is your invite to come back. All right.
Perfect.
Hey, congratulations.
Great.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Appreciate you. Hey,
Randy,
cool.
again, thank you so much for being here, Randy. This
Making
is
everybody
good.
happy, man. You're making dreams come true over here. What's going on?
Like
How fun is that?
September,
Hey, thank you so much. Hey, Sandy, Randy, thank you guys so much for the time. Thanks everybody for coming in. Thanks for all the beautiful messages. Love that. Sandy and I will be back in 2 weeks. We'll be gone next Thursday. We'll be back September 18th. So look
We'll be
out
spending
for
some time with Randy next week.
We are in person. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Do us a favor. We're going to share this recording tomorrow with you all so you can watch it again. You'll get part 1 as well. But do us a favor. Invite someone in your network from LinkedIn, for instance. Share the episode. And that's how we to grow the reach and viewership of the podcast and the webinar. So can't thank you all enough for coming. And we can't thank you in advance for sharing. So appreciate you all. Have a great afternoon. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you taking the time, man. You're the man.
Best audience in the game right now. So I appreciate you guys as well.
Thank you, brother. All right. We'll talk to you all soon. Bye, Sandy. Thank you so much.